Am I the a-hole? A beautiful subreddit full of stuff that definitely isn't beautiful. Reddit stories that are usually concerning and terrifying. Every now and then they're wholesome, but not very often. But they're always a whole bunch of fun, and that's what we're going to read today. I hope you guys are having a great day today, and I hope you're ready for this. My 27 female boyfriend, 29 male, gave my food to the dog. Well, okay. As I lay in my bed, I can't help but wonder, what the f*** am I doing in life? I ordered this man Chinese food because he's not feeling well, and I only just came home from a 10-hour shift. All I wanted was one egg roll. One. My boyfriend orders chicken noodle soup and 2 egg rolls, one for me and one for him. The food arrives and I'm occupied. I'm currently doing my nails. I can hear him call my name from the living room. As I finish up my nails, probably 10 minutes after he calls me, I head to the living room to find no egg roll. I look at him with complete confusion. He proceeds to tell me that he gave an egg roll to the dog since it fell on the floor. Then he proceeds to eat the other one, plus the food that he got as well. Wow, dude. Give OP the one that didn't fall on the floor. I turn completely red with anger. He can't comprehend why I'm so upset, and offers to order me one. But it's about to be 12 a.m. in the morning, and I don't want to wait another 45 minutes for an egg roll. I turn myself in for the night. All I ask is to be alone and end the night by myself because I know that I'm still very upset. He doesn't understand why I'm so heated. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. That was the only food that you ordered. Like the top comment says, he gave his egg roll to the dog because he dropped it and then decided to eat yours instead. Yes, so inconsiderate. And you've got other food too, dude. The second top comment says, when I see my husband pouring a drink or getting a snack and I say, hey, can you get me one too? He says, oh no, this one's yours. I forgot to get myself one. And then he gets another for himself. Get you a man who gives a crap about you. Yeah, that's pretty wild when you've also got other food. So like, was he sitting there eating his soup being like, oh, okay, so you've got no food because I ate it all? Like, what are you doing, dude? No, that sucks. Well, like, one fell on the floor and I gave it to the dog, but I shouldn't have to miss out, so I just ate yours. Even though I've got chicken noodle soup that I ordered as well, and OP has nothing. This comment says, not the a-hole. You worked for 10 hours, ordered the food, and all you wanted was one egg roll. One. And this man gave it to the dog like some kind of tragic sitcom plot. It's not just an egg roll, it's the principle. At midnight, that egg roll was hope and peace and the will to survive. He needs to understand that messing with a tired woman's comfort food is dangerous territory. The comment below that says, I felt this in my very soul. It's so interesting though, because yeah, it is only over an egg roll, but even though this was so simple and so small, it shows so much about their character. Like, oh, so you're not gonna eat anything, and I'm gonna sit here and eat the food that we ordered. Like, come on, that's not good. Yeah, you're not the a-hole, OP. Moving on to post number 2. Am I the a-hole for not dating a single dad, even if he's a victim? I, 19 female, recently went on a date with a guy, Ben, 25 male, after meeting through mutual friends. He was nice enough at first, but I found out that he has 2 kids. One is 7 male, which means that he became a dad at 18 with a 19-year-old, and the other is 2 male. I've always known that I don't want to date somebody with kids. There was nothing wrong with him as a person, but I couldn't see myself in that situation long term. I'm not particularly a fan of kids. If I have my own someday, we'll see, but that's not happening anytime soon. However, I don't think I could handle being a stepmom. After our first date, he messaged me saying that he really liked me and wanted to see me again. I politely told him that I didn't think it would work out. That's when he started to pressure me for a reason. He said that he thought we clicked so well. We had the same interests and he didn't understand why I was saying no. I tried to keep it vague at first, but he kept on pushing. So I finally told him that I wasn't comfortable dating somebody with kids. That set him off. He started saying stuff like how he thought younger girls liked experienced men and that I was being judgmental. Then he said that he didn't plan for any of this to happen and asked, don't you think I'm a victim? I was just a dumb kid when I had my first, and the second was a surprise. I don't even see his kids that often, and that we wouldn't have any problems. I was baby trapped. I have it way harder than you. At that point I was done. I didn't reply to him anymore. The mutual friend who set us up, he told them. They said that I was being judgmental. Nobody these days cares about how many baby mamas somebody has or about being a stepmom. I told them that I just don't see myself in that position. My friend said that they understand, but that I should still apologize to Ben. So should I? I don't think I'm wrong, but my friend said that apologizing would make peace for their relationship with Ben too. So am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. You're 19. Your stance on this is pretty understandable, and even more understandable because you're only 19 yourself. Like, yeah, you're 19. You don't want to be involved with somebody who has kids. That's completely valid. The top comment says, not the a-hole. He played the victim card for sympathy. Red flag. Don't allow your friends to set you up anymore. And the comment below that one, he needs to own his decisions instead of deflecting blame. Dating a guy with kids when you're not interested interested is completely valid. Don't apologize. Yeah, and the response to that comment. Also, she's 19. I doubt there are many 19-year-olds who say, yeah, let's be a stepmom. Expecting that from her is ridiculous. She obviously wouldn't be in the wrong whatever age she was, but it's especially laughable because of her age. The second top comment says he's not even really a good person. Wouldn't accept your no at face value, tried to pressure you with guilt trips, said weird crap like young girls want experienced men so we should date, and tried to make you date him out of pity. Like that's something that ever goes well? Jesus Christ. The single dad thing is secondary to all that in my opinion. You're entitled to your boundaries and your I'm not interested would have been enough for a genuinely good guy, not the a-hole. Yeah, no, I don't really feel like you've got anything to apologize about. Your mutual friend, the one who set you guys up, really should have told you that he had kids. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. And now we're moving on to post number 3. Am I the a-hole for snapping at my significant other? For asking me questions that I can't know? Woken up at 3 a.m. by a jumpy significant other telling me that there's somebody in the attic. I get up, rubbing my eyes, and I check the hatch, which is shut. No ladder present below the hatch means nobody got in there from the hatch. I put my ladder there and I check the attic. Empty. Here's something running on the roof at this point. Probably a cat. I get down, my significant other is panicking, asking what I saw. Tell her nothing is in the attic. Something may be on the roof. She wants to call the cops and is asking 100 questions. I ask her to wait while I check it out to settle her down. I circle the house twice while shining a bright torch over the roof. Don't see anything. Get inside the house and explain that I went around the house twice shining the torch on the roof. There's no one there, but I'm bombarded with who was it then? Nobody. Who could it have been? No one was there. What are they doing on the roof? I don't even know if somebody was there. How could they have gotten up there? I don't know. How do you not know? Take a guess. I don't think anybody was there. Probably a cat running around. You need to speak with the neighbors to see if they saw something while I call the cops. I'm not gonna wake the neighbors at 3 in the morning and you're not calling the cops. Go to bed. No, you need to speak with the neighbors because you don't know anything. You don't know who it was. What were they doing there? How'd they get up there? Listen, I don't know who was there. I can't know this. I don't know what they were doing there. I cannot know this. I don't know how they got up there. If you want to ask hypotheticals, then maybe they flew there. They parachuted off a plane and they landed there. Maybe it was Spider-Man. I just don't know because I can't know. I've walked around the house and I found nothing. You think me waking the neighbors will solve the mystery? Even though he knows less than us. She's pissed off now, saying that it was a stressful situation and that I should have been cooperative and understanding of her feelings, but instead I was a real a-hole? No, you weren't. No matter which way I look at it, I can't think where I was wrong. I'm not in the best moods at 3 in the morning. No, you're not the a-hole. And oh my god, she made it so much more stressful than it needed to be. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. Turn it around. Yeah, it was stressful. So maybe you should have been cooperative and understanding that I don't have all the answers and neither do you. Just because she decides that neighbors need to be disturbed and the police called doesn't mean that's an appropriate reaction. It's her reaction, not yours. You are allowed to have differing opinions. It was probably a cat or a possum or something. The comment below that says seconded. When you hear a weird noise in the night, even a loud one, the typical response is what was that, not who was that. The fact that she defaulted to assuming that it was a human, despite the unlikelihood, and could not be persuaded otherwise, is unusual. That needs a calm discussion in daylight. No, you didn't do anything wrong here, OP, and having this turned into an argument at 3 in the morning is so wild. You were trying your best, you were trying to reassure your partner. Like that wasn't you not cooperating or not being understanding. Yeah, so she's pissed off saying that I should have been cooperative and understanding of her feelings. Yeah, but you weren't being not understanding. You just didn't think you needed to wake up the neighbors and call the police. And yeah, by the sounds of it, you didn't. Yeah, definitely not the a-hole consensus here. Like I do definitely understand being woken up by a sound in the middle of the night and being super scared about it and not knowing what it is. And you're probably not in the best sort of frame of mind at 3 in the morning. But yeah, the paranoia and the immediately assuming that it's a person, that's obviously not good. But I don't feel like there was anything wrong with how OP handled this. Like, do you need to go wake up the neighbors and do you really need to call the police because of a noise? I don't know, probably not. I don't know where OP and their partner live. I live out in the countryside and I hear noises all the time. And obviously being out in the countryside, it's always an animal. But yeah, it's not very rational to immediately be like, okay, we need to call the police. Like OP looked around and didn't see anything and there was nothing in the attic. It's more than likely not a person. So yeah, like I said, not the a-hole, and it definitely seems like a not the a-hole consensus. And now moving on to post number 4. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my half-siblings and telling my dad that I'm not his backup mum? Hi Reddit, I-19 female might have gone too far, but I need some outside perspective. For context, my parents divorced when I was 12 because my dad cheated on my mum with the younger woman Emily, now 31 female. It was a messy, ugly divorce and my relationship with my dad has been strained ever since. He married Emily pretty fast and now they've got 3 kids under 5. Ever since the kids were born, he's been constantly asking me to help out with babysitting. I live with my mum and I go to college full-time while working part-time to cover my expenses. But despite that, my dad calls me almost every week, begging me to come over and bond with my siblings by babysitting. He says Emily's overwhelmed and needs a break. I honestly don't care. I never wanted siblings, and I'm still not over the fact that his affair blew up our family. I've told him I'm busy with school and work, but he keeps on guilt-tripping me, saying stuff like, family takes care of family. Oh yeah, we've heard that before. Last weekend he called again, practically demanding that I babysit because Emily had a mental breakdown. I lost it. I told him I'm not your backup mum. You chose to have more kids and that's not my responsibility. He got quiet and then said, I thought you were more mature than this, before hanging up on me. You don't sound immature at all. Now both he and Emily have been sending me messages, calling me selfish and saying that I'm abandoning my family. Hey, no. My grandma even chimed in, saying that I should help my father in his time of need. But I feel like he's only trying to dump his problems onto me because he made bad choices. My mum does think I did the right thing, but now half of my family's pissed at me. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help and saying what I did? No, definitely not. And the top comment, not the a-hole. When Emily tells you that you're selfish because you're abandoning your family, you can tell her, not nearly as selfish as you and my dad are for breaking up my family by lying and cheating and having an affair. She's got some nerve. And the comment below that one says, oh, and dad, grandma just volunteered to look after the children because she believes that family should help in times of need. Yeah, no, you're not the a-hole at all. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. You nailed it with the backup mum comment. He's using you to take care of his own new family, and it's not at all fair for him to ask so much of you while you have your own stuff going on. And actual bonding is completely fine. Treating you like an on-call babysitter is a crappy thing to do. The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. Guilt trips only work if your bags are packed. I thought you were more mature than this, before hanging up on me. I think that's in the dictionary under irony. Yeah, the ironing is delicious.
The ironing is delicious. The word is irony. Huh?
That is so wild too. Like, oh, family helps family. But you cheated and you broke up the family with your affair? Come on, dude. The dad's the immature one, not you, OP. This comment says, message and tell him, you want to talk to me about maturity. I'm 19 and I have my life together. I go to school and I've got a job. What are you? A man who broke his family apart and had more kids with a woman who doesn't know how to be a mum. You both need to grow the hell up. They're not my family. You're lucky I tolerate you, but if this harassment continues, I'll block you and your walking, talking. Then, if it continues, block him. But block his wife now anyway. The comment below that one says, I'd add, oh, and by the way, affair partner, if he'll cheat with you, he'll cheat on you. Have the life that you deserve. And let's get into post number 5. Am I the a-hole for opening and using a 2008 Lego Star Wars set that I got for my birthday that cost my friend a couple of $100? I had my birthday about a month ago, and I was flabbergasted seeing the Lego Star Wars 2008 Republic gunship fully boxed. My friend didn't even mention an exact amount, just that he spent a lot to get one since I've always been a Star Wars fan, and when he saw somebody selling that, he knew that it was worth it, especially since while he's not rich, he's a little bit better off than I am monetarily. I really didn't care about actually getting anything, or at least not something that expensive since I've never gotten a gift that expensive before, but I really thanked him and I hugged him, which I usually don't do out of awkwardness, but I really appreciated it. Anyway, a couple of days ago when he visited, he saw that it was now sitting on my shelf with all my minifigures, and he seemed kinda shocked, almost disappointed. He said stuff like, that loses its value if it's unboxed, and you're not supposed to open rare stuff, but I find value in actually using stuff. I know that thing is over 15 years old now, but I've never understood that mentality. If I could look at boxes in stores or on the computer, they're not worth anything to me if I can't actually use it, and so I open and I use everything I get, no matter the price. I guess I just don't have that collector mentality or whatever, but who's the a-hole here? I know I got it as a gift for my birthday, but he also spent a lot apparently, and judging by his reaction, I felt bad. No, you're not the a-hole, OP, because it was a present to you. Once he gifted that Lego set to you, it became your Lego set. Therefore, if you want to open it, you're allowed to open it because it's yours. He didn't say, here's your present, you're not allowed to open it though because it's going to go down in value. And it's not you being rude or unappreciating the gift. You really do appreciate the gift, and you probably had such a good time making it too. And now it's sitting beautifully on your shelf, and you get to look at it and admire it. No, I completely understand this. I wanted to buy the Lord of the Rings Lego sets. Not like all of them, obviously, because there's so many. But I have looked at some really old Lord of the Rings and Hobbit Lego sets. And normal Lego's pretty expensive, so old Lego like that is really expensive. But I've thought that so many times too. Like, I can't buy this and not make it. You know, like there's no way that I'm going to buy this cool old Lego set and not actually build it. It'd be so fun to build it and so fun to put it on a shelf. No, I completely get it, OP, and you're definitely not the a-hole. And by the sounds of it, you were super grateful for this. The top comment says, not the a-hole. I'm a Lego fan and there are absolutely two sides to this hobby, collectors and builders, but something bought as a gift, be it by a builder or collector, is then the recipients to do with as they please. Yeah, 100%. The second top comment says, OP, I'd let him know that the reason you opened it is that it means a lot to you and you would never think of selling it because of what it represents as a thoughtful gift from a good friend or something along those lines. So it never occurred to you to keep it boxed up. Yeah, that's right. You didn't have any plan of ever selling it, so you wanted to enjoy it. And yeah, like that comment said, it represents a present from a friend. That's so beautiful. I don't feel like you're an a-hole at all. The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. When you give a gift, you have no control over what the recipient does with it. And also, where's the fun in not putting together a Lego set? The comment below that one says, no a-holes. It was a gift to you and you have full right to do whatever you want with it. Your friend being disappointed doesn't make them an a-hole, since they didn't fly off the handle or anything like that. They just probably didn't realize that you'd value things more being used instead of it sitting there and growing in value. Don't feel too bad, they just have to process their feelings, that's all. Yeah, like ages ago I showed on camera when I'd get new Pokemon boxes and stuff. I haven't bought any in ages because there are so many new sets coming out, but I've got a few older Japanese Pokemon boxes that are in like acrylic cases, and there have been so many times when I've had one and I've been like, oh, I should really keep this sealed, but also I want to open it so bad. And it's so fun to open them. It's the same thing with the Lego sets. Like, yeah, they're super valuable, but they're also really fun to open. And OP gets value out of that sort of stuff and doesn't get any value out of keeping stuff sealed. And by the sounds of it, OP, you were super grateful. So no, definitely not the a-hole. Also, another good thing about Lego is if you do buy a really valuable Lego set, if you build that Lego set and you keep the instructions and you keep the box in pretty good condition, if you ever do want to sell it one day, you can take it apart and you can sell it on eBay or something, and they don't lose that much value. Some of them definitely do lose a lot of value if they're not sealed, but people definitely do buy the ones that have already been made when you still have the box and the instructions and stuff. This is making me want to make some Lego. Okay, let's get into story number 6. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my sister-in-law stay at my house after she kept on criticizing my home? So, a bit of context, I, 29 female, have been married to my husband Jake, 32 male, for 4 years now. It's always Jake in these stories. We live in a nice house that we worked hard to get. It's not huge, but it's ours and we're proud of it. My sister-in-law Rachel, 27 female, has always been a little bit critical, but I brushed it off at first. Last weekend, Rachel was in town for a wedding and my mother-in-law asked if I could let her stay with us for a few nights. Normally, I'd have no issue with it. I get along with Rachel fine, but I should have known something was off when she started making comments the second that she stepped into our house. First, she immediately made a face when I showed her to her room and said, "Oh, it's cozy," which, okay, sure, our guest room isn't as big as a hotel suite, it's a guest room. Then when we sat down for dinner, she kept on pointing out how dated our furniture was and how our living room didn't have any personality. It felt like every other sentence out of her mouth was a dig at something in our house. The last straw came when she made a comment about our kitchen. I recently did a minor remodel and she goes, "I mean, the cabinets are nice, but did you really need to get those backsplash tiles? They make it look so busy." Oh my god, Rachel, you suck. I was holding back, but at this point I snapped and said, "Rachel, if you don't like it, you don't have to stay here." Yeah, imagine being a guest in somebody else's house and saying any of this sort of stuff. She got really quiet and later my husband pulled me aside and said that I was being too harsh. Wrong, husband. He said that Rachel wasn't trying to be mean, just expressing her opinions. Yeah, well, she needs to shut up. But that I should have been more gracious. Whoa! You're not the one who needs to be more gracious. He's always been kind of a peacemaker. But I honestly don't think that I was in the wrong here. It wasn't just one comment, it was constant. So am I the a-hole for kicking Rachel out of our house over a few harmless critiques? Wait, so you did kick her out? You said she got really quiet and later my husband pulled me aside for being too harsh. It didn't say that she actually left. But yeah, like the top comment says, not the a-hole, Rachel is a rude turd. Yeah, Rachel is a giant turd. And the response to that one too, and the husband isn't a peacemaker, he's a doormat. Yeah, you need to be more gracious to the person that's insulting your home when they're a guest in your home? Husband, what are you talking about? And also screw her opinions. You know, like keep that sort of stuff to yourself. Shut up. Oh, you think all the furniture's dated. You think this is bad. You think this is ugly. You think this room's too small. They are not comments that need to be said, and they're not harmless critiques. Yeah, the second type comment, you were simply advising her of her options. Shut the hell up or get out. Yeah, and fair enough too, the audacity of that. How rude can you get? Yeah, and also this comment, he's expecting the wrong person to be gracious. Yes, so annoying of the husband. Bro, you're getting annoyed at OP here? While this person is in there insulting your home, being completely rude and so ungrateful, but OP needs to be more gracious? No, they don't. OP said what needed to be said. Like, I feel like what you said, OP, was definitely necessary. Like, hey, you're a guest in my house, okay? You can either stop being rude or you can leave. This comment says, what the hell? You should have been more gracious? So you graciously accept her criticism and rude comments. You graciously put up with the poor behavior of a guest who's staying for free under your roof and accepting your food and hospitality. No way. A peacemaker would tell the offending party to bloody apologize. That's how you make peace in your home. For sake, what is it with this BS? Not the a-hole. Yeah, the husband's not a peacemaker, he's a doormat, like that other comment said. His behavior in this is insulting enough, let alone Rachel's behavior. This comment says, not the a-hole, you didn't kick her out. You merely suggested that she would be more comfortable elsewhere, preferably alone with her crap attitude. And moving on to story number 7. The next one's an update to a post that we read a few days ago called Am I the A-hole for giving crappy Christmas gifts and ruining my marriage? This is the one where OP went to their house and I think it was their partner's mum threw OP's cake that they made straight into the bin. I'll read the original post again really fast. I, 31 female, married my soon-to-be ex-husband, male 33, in 2018. My in-laws never liked me and they made it clear. Soon-to-be ex insisted that they're just putting up a tough exterior and they'll grow to love me. To show you how evil they are, one time I joined them for dinner and I brought a cake I'd made because I was always raised to be a gracious guest, something that Rachel knows nothing about. When I stepped into the kitchen and I offered the cake to his mother as a thank you for inviting me, she took the plate over to the garbage bin, dumped it in and handed me the plate back. When I told my husband what she did, he confronted her and all of a sudden the crocodile tears started and she claimed that she grabbed the plate but didn't get a good grip. I let it go too fast and it fell on the floor. So of course it had to be thrown away. What a load of BS. My sister-in-law confirmed that that was what happened. My soon-to-be ex owned his own business and they called me a gold digger behind his back. Of course, they insisted on a prenup, which I didn't care about because I never thought my marriage would end and it would appease them and may allow them to finally treat me kindly. But no, his business failed once COVID hit. We went through his savings and my own trying to keep it afloat. I refused to go into debt to keep it going, so he closed it down. In 2022, he was suffering from really bad depression because he lost his business and couldn't find new work. He suggested that we move to his hometown closer to his family, so we had a larger support network. Against my best judgments, we did. He wanted to only work part-time while he tried to restart his business, so I became the main breadwinner. And as with most wives, I became the person in charge of buying gifts. Stupid old me thought that buying them thoughtful, expensive gifts would finally make them see that I wanted to be accepted by them. Gifts to us were a couple's gift, but clearly for my soon-to-be ex only. Every holiday was spent with them, monthly dinners with the whole family. After a year, I realized that if I ever tried to talk or join a conversation, everybody would go quiet or stop talking when I visited. In early December, they finalized plans for Christmas. A few days after, my soon-to-be ex said that his family decided they didn't want me to join them for Christmas Eve dinner and Christmas Eve lunch because I ruined the family vibe. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I replied, fine, we'll do our own thing instead. My soon-to-be ex sheepishly looked away and said that he was still gonna go. How pathetic. I was livid and I was so disappointed in him. That was the moment that I knew my marriage was over. So I returned the presents that I bought for his family. In their place, I got one pair of novelty business socks for my father-in-law, a supermarket brand bottle of shampoo for mother-in-law, the nastiest perfume I could find at the dollar store for sister-in-law. The most expensive gift was a large rawhide bone for brother-in-law and his wife's chihuahua, too big for it to get its jaw around, so rendering it useless. I saved about $600 to put on a deposit for a new apartment. My husband came home from Christmas lunch telling me that I humiliated him and I embarrassed him in front of his family. Oh yeah, at the event that you excluded OP from. You terrible partner. Oh my god. God. I asked him why would he think I'd buy nice stuff for people who clearly don't like me and don't want me around. Served divorce papers last week. Remember how he was supposed to be a millionaire by now, so we had that prenup? Soon-to-be ex is not eligible for any of my savings. It was required to keep separate accounts or alimony. He doesn't have money for rent and auto insurance. Not my problem anymore. Some of my friends and family are on my side and proud that I went out in a blaze of glory. Others are telling me that I was being way too petty, which isn't really like me. So am I the a-hole? And of course, no, not the a-hole. Like OP surrounded by a-holes here. And a terrible excuse of a husband. Oh yeah, so my family doesn't actually want you at the Christmas lunch because you bring the vibe down, but I'm still gonna go anyway. Oh my freaking God. That makes me so mad for you, OP. And the audacity for him to say that OP humiliated him and his family when they were the ones who didn't even let OP come to the lunch. Like, how did they get to that conclusion? Update. Many thanks to everybody for their support in my last post. I thought I'd send a small update. First of all, for those who asked how the deposit on my new apartment was only $600 that I saved on the gifts, it certainly wasn't. I had to dip into savings, but that $600 did help. My soon-to-be ex didn't bother reaching out to me after I left until he was served the divorce papers and my lawyer made it clear that we're exercising the prenup. Then it was all laughing voicemails and texts that I never picked up from him and his family for a few days trying to convince me to come back, which eventually turned to threatening and cruel voicemails and texts when it was obvious that I wasn't budging. Yeah, that's not surprising. My lawyer suggested I don't block them so that we have evidence of harassment if needed. But then last night I got a call after from my soon-to-be ex. Stupidly, I picked it up thinking that there was some kind of emergency or something. I barely got hello out when he said, "The rent is a week late." I told him that's strange because I paid my landlord 6 days ago. He paused and sighed dramatically and replied, "No, the rent for here." Oh my God. I reminded him that I didn't live there anymore and he shouldn't expect rent. Cue his parents texting me that they're gonna sue me to pay the remainder of the lease entirely. I'm not worried about having an eviction on my record since the apartment is in his parents' names. When we first announced that we were moving to his hometown, they rented an apartment for us right away so that we could move right in. They've been renewing the lease each year. We had to pay his parents and then they write a check to the landlord, who has no idea who soon-to-be ex and I are, let alone that we live there. Red flag, I know. I'm glad that I had a few weeks to prep my leaving, since they'd probably use the fact that it's their apartment to kick me out immediately. Divorce is probably going to be a bumpy ride with this man-child and his psycho parents. Any advice from anybody who's been through it is welcome. Yeah, like this comment says, who's the gold digger now? How pathetic. Yeah, the husband and the husband's family were pathetic in the first post, and they still are here. Oh, that's actually laughable. This comment says, you're in the power position. You have the prenup, your own income, and you're not on the lease. Just retain every text and voicemail and do not speak to any of them. I'm so happy that you don't have children with this useless man. Yeah, the first post that we read was already so bad. Like, imagine being a husband to your partner and you're like, oh, well, my family said they don't want you to come to the lunch because you ruined the vibe, but I'm gonna go anyway. Like, that's not a good partner. And then to come back and be like, oh, you humiliated me and my family. No, they didn't. A good husband, or like a good partner in general, stands by their partner's side and they look after their partner and they love their partner and they support and they stand up for their partner. This one has been like such a good lesson on what not to do. The top comment says, it seems like you've got everything under control. Best of luck. You're gonna need it with them. Okay, let's get into story number 8. Am I the a-hole for cancelling my wedding after discovering my ex-fiance's massive gambling debt? I was supposed to marry my ex-fiance this year. We had everything planned out, like the venue booked, an invitation sent, and a future that I thought I was secure. But then I discovered a secret that she'd been hiding from me for years, that she's drowning in gambling debt. It started when I noticed a huge amount missing from our wedding fund. When I asked her about it, she got defensive and said that it was for unexpected expenses. That didn't sit right with me, so I did something I never thought I'd have to do. I checked her personal finances, and what I found made my stomach drop. She'd racked up tens of thousands of dollars in gambling debt, maxed out credit cards, payday loans, even money borrowed from friends and family. She'd been lying to me for years while secretly burning through cash on online gambling. And worst of all, she had no real plan to stop or to pay it back. When I confronted her, she broke down, begged for forgiveness and swore that she'd change, but the reality was crystal clear. If I married her, her financial disaster would become mine. Her debt wouldn't just be a problem, it'd become our problem. I'd be legally tied to it, cleaning up her mess while she worked on it. I told her I couldn't do it. I'm not marrying somebody who lied to me about something this massive. She accused me of abandoning her. Oh, get out of here. No, you're not. You hid something from OP for years, saying that if I really loved her, I'd help her get through it. But to To me, love isn't about blindly taking on somebody's self-inflicted financial ruin. Would I be the a-hole for cancelling our wedding because of this reason? No, OP, this isn't some small issue. This is massive. And your partner's been hiding this from you for years. The top comment says, not the a-hole. You dodged a lifetime of financial chaos. Stay strong. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. She has an addiction that she hasn't come to terms with or is trying to correct. You didn't create her addiction and you won't be able to change it. And OP said she told me that she just gambled in order to help me. The comment below that one says, yeah, addicts lie. The comment below that one says, sure, if you really loved her, you'd help her. And if she really loved you, she would have given you that chance instead of hiding it away and continuing to do it. She doesn't want help. She wants an enabler, not the a-hole. And the comment above that one says, not the a-hole. Be thankful you found out before the wedding. She'll lie and destroy any financial stability that you have. Very much a not the a-hole consensus here. Yeah, it's really understandable that you feel the way that you feel, OP. Like, who wouldn't feel the way that you feel? Like, yeah, it's really awful and there's definitely sympathy there for them, but the trust is gone. And yeah, OP didn't feel like they could commit to this. And OP said she had no real plan to stop or to pay it back. And OP even said that she'd been hiding it from me for years. Yeah, pretty understandable reaction from you, I feel like, OP. And moving on to story number 9. I hope you're having a great time today, guys. Am I the a-hole for gifting daughter presents meant for my husband's side piece? Back in 2018, we went on a Christmas trip to see my now ex-husband's Joe, sister Jill. He was acting strange and wouldn't talk to me. His sister, who had only met one time before, ignored me. We had a present sent to her house so we didn't have to pack them. I was wrapping presents and Joe and Jill went outside for a period. He would not tell me what they were talking about. When we went to pack up, Joe was very concerned about his backpack. Only he could touch it. I thought that was odd, but whatever. A month prior to leaving, I found a prepaid card in his wallet. I took it to see what he would say. He asked about it and said that it was for work. I found it and gave it back to him. About a week later, I asked if he was having an affair. He said no, and I dropped it. We have not been in love for quite a while, and I knew that we were heading towards divorce. Upon the return from the trip, something told me to look in his backpack. So while he was showering, I looked and I found 2 bracelets and a gift bag. I took the 2 bracelets and I hid them. All was well until he went to the car to leave. He came storming back in, demanding that I give the bracelets back. I simply replied, what bracelets? He said that he bought them for me for our anniversary next month. He knows that I don't wear bracelets and that I actually hate them. Why would he be freaking out if the bracelets were for me a month after? He stormed out and we didn't talk about it again. I was finally able to get into his phone and I discovered text messages confirming the affair. Part of me didn't care because we weren't in love, but I still felt betrayed. 2 years after that, we were divorcing. I'm cleaning out our rooms, helping him pack. We had a very amicable divorce. While cleaning, I found the 2 bracelets that I'd hid years ago and forgot about. I didn't want them, but our middle child, female 15, does love jewelry. We were separated but decided to have Christmas at the house together. So Christmas morning comes and kids are opening gifts. The look on Joe's face as our daughter opens the bracelets was so priceless. They were rose gold, her favorite, and her face was beaming with joy. He sat there looking at the jewelry like a deer in headlights. So am I the a-hole for gifting jewelry to my daughter meant for my husband's side piece? No, because remember, they were meant to be for you, OP, for your anniversary. No, you're not the a-hole. Edit, some have strong feelings about gifting bracelets to my daughter and her feelings if she does find out. I've got no intention of telling her. Joe won't say anything. He denies the affair completely when talking to other people. He moved out of state without telling them and only contacts them on holidays and birthdays. The only way that she would find out was if I would tell her. Yeah, the top comment, not the a-hole. You re-gifted something that he said was meant for you. The comment below that says, exactly. Shouldn't be wasteful now, should we? Not the a-hole. The comment below that one says, if you are the a-hole, come and sit by me and let's dish. The response to that one says, right? I sometimes feel the need for a you the a-hole for the good of humanity voting option. The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. That's what we call poetic justice. You didn't waste the bracelets out of spite. You gave them to somebody who actually appreciated them. Your daughter got a thoughtful gift and your ex got a silent but devastating reality check. Bonus points for his deer in headlights reaction. And the comment below that one says, I think if we're being honest, you did it explicitly to be an a-hole. I also think most people would agree that it was justified. Okay, let's get into story number 10. Already at story 10. Okay, so we've got another update post. This one is on the one called, Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my sister's kids for several weeks while she's on a baby moon with her boyfriend? Once again, I'll read the original post really fast. Do I need to do that, guys? Let me know in the comments. I just assume that not everybody has probably seen the other videos, but yeah, I'll read it real fast anyway. My 28 female sister Jamie, 38 female, has 3 kids. Melanie, 11 female, Sarah, 8 female, and and Carl 5 male, with her ex-husband who she divorced 6 months ago due to her cheating, with her current boyfriend Daniel 62 male. Jamie's kids are absolute brats, and the last time they came over, 3 years ago, Melanie smashed a vase, Sarah scribbled on my Uggs with permanent marker. That's when I decided to become child-free. I also decided to distance myself from them, though I do speak to them and we do have occasional family dinners at my aunt's place. Anyway, Jamie and Daniel are expecting a child, a boy, and they decided to go on a baby moon, which will happen in a week, and they're not very wealthy. Jamie spent nearly all of her money on the trip, and Daniel will work double shifts until then and after the baby moon to support both of them, so they didn't hire a babysitter. Yesterday, Jamie unexpectedly called me and asked if I could babysit her kids. I said no, as I've been getting a degree online and I have to fly to where my university is for my graduation ceremony. At first, they tried to persuade me, saying that her kids are absolute darlings and I won't even notice they're there. I said that my answer was still the same, and then she went off in a rant and called me all kinds of crap, like I'm a heartless bitch who can't have a little compassion for her poor pregnant sister. I told her that if she wants somebody to work for her for free, she can actually get a job and not sleep with men who are literally old enough to be her father, in the hopes that they're rich. She hung up and she's now bombarding me with texts begging me to reconsider. I'm beginning to feel a bit guilty. Should I have been nicer to Jamie? Okay, so that's the original post, and this is the update. Last night Jamie texted me. She seemed upset. Apparently she had to cancel her baby moon because I quote unquote rudely denied the amazing opportunity to watch her kids. However, not everything from the cancelled trip was fully refunded, so she demanded that I compensate with the rest and also pay for a fully funded trip to Disney for her, Daniel, and the brats. She also sent me links to several things, such as a pack of Japanese expensive diapers, baby clothes, and baby shoes. What baby needs mini Asics that cost a bomb? And other stuff totaling about $500. I didn't text back. At about midnight, Jamie showed up at my house and dropped Melanie, her 11-year-old, off. Now I'm conflicted. Should I call the police and get Jamie in trouble? And possibly get Melanie in trouble with Jamie? Or should I go to her house and sort this out myself? I really hope I don't have to make any more updates. Yeah, the top comment. Unblock and text your sister, Jamie, your parents in a group message. Say you've got 30 minutes to pick up your child, or I'm going to call the police and CPS is going to be involved. Edit. Then send all of the demands so your parents can see what kind of psychopath your sister has become. The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. Call the police, tell them your sister abandoned her child and that she's threatened to abandon all of her kids and disappear for multiple weeks, whether you're available or agree or not. Let them come and get the niece and her face consequences. Unless you give her consequences, she's going to continue to abuse you, so it's the only way to stop this for good. Take action. She broke the law by abandoning her daughter when she knew that you were against it, so let her face child services and the police for it. Yeah, putting all of this blame onto you and saying that you need to fund them a trip to Disney because you couldn't babysit their children for weeks. Oh, sorry that you were asking something pretty huge of me and I actually couldn't do it. Yeah, I really appreciate how you're blaming me for the fact that you can't go now. And then what, you've got to buy her kids a whole bunch of expensive stuff? No, you don't. Yeah, and also this comment. Police, this is escalating. Yeah, she really is escalating. Yeah, that's wild. I can't believe she blamed you for all of this. But yeah, I guess that is pretty fitting behavior based on all the other stuff that we read here. I rudely denied the amazing opportunity to watch her kids. First of all, not an amazing opportunity. Second of all, you shouldn't get angry at somebody when they actually can't do something. You didn't rudely deny doing it. You couldn't do it because you had the university thing. You said that you were getting a degree online. And also, by the sounds of it, you don't want to be around her kids at all. Yeah, that's unbelievable. You're so not in the wrong here. This comment says, did Melanie say why she was dropped off? Also, honestly, sounds like the relationship between you and her is over. I'd planned to go no contact. And OP said she said that it was because her mummy needed her auntie to be a good aunt and watch her child for once in her life. And the aunt is me. That's what Melanie said to you when she dropped her off. Wow. Yeah, the comment above that one, not the a-hole. She essentially just abandoned her child as a way of forcing a relationship with you. Letting her get away with this will only set a crappy future precedent where she'll always feel okay with dropping them off without any warning. Call the cops. If you're feeling generous, then text her that unless she picks up the kid in an hour, that you'll call the cops and CPS on her. Yeah, you should, OP, because she obviously doesn't see anything wrong with the way that she's acting. Like, hey, somebody else that needs to learn that actions have consequences. Yeah, and like the comment below that said, she doesn't want a relationship. She just wants free babysitting. Yeah, that one's infuriating. All the best with it, OP. And moving on to story number 11. This one that we're going to read is on entitled people. I felt like we needed a little bit of a change. Brother throws a fit because he didn't get a job interview. So, this happened a couple of years ago, but no matter what, I can't get over how entitled my brother acted. For context, my brother at the time, about 20 23, and my older sister, at the time about 28, both applied to one of the only jobs hiring near where they lived. Their job was for a cashier position, which sister had several years of experience in customer service, while brother only worked 1 year at a factory and quit there because he didn't get a raise, claiming that it was unfair when staff who worked there for 5+ years got raises. But anyway, one day we were out shopping when my sister got a call from the job that they both applied for. They wanted her for an interview. When hearing that, my brother pretty much threw a fit. He told my sister that it was unfair that you got an interview and I didn't, when I put in an application a week before you did, and I even called to check up on it. I reminded him that our sister had experience while he doesn't. He then repeated, but I put in the application first, I should be first. Then I told him that's not how interviews work. They wait for the ones with experience, so they don't have to do much training. He got even more upset and claimed that the story's sexist and she's only getting hired because she's a female, which honestly made me so irritated. He was acting like a child, and our dad tried backing him up, telling my sister to put in a good word for your brother. My sister told her dad that there's no way she can do that because even if she gets hired, it'd be wrong to immediately convince them to hire our brother. While this conversation was going on, brother kept on going on about how the owner is male, so he must be sexist and must only want females since currently the only staff there are women. So in order to get in, he needed our sister to tell them to hire him too during her interview. I noticed my sister getting upset during everything. At first she was so excited to get the interview and was hoping everybody would be happy for her, but instead they acted like she was wrong for getting the interview instead of our brother. I told my dad and brother that that was enough and that she got the interview because she has several years of experience under her belt while our brother had none, and it had nothing to do with her gender, and that no, she was not going to mention our brother during her interview or after getting hired, because if they didn't contact him, clearly he didn't cut it, and to just stop. After that, everybody went silent. The top comment says he didn't get hired because he's an a-hole, and the comment below that one says, and a whiner. This comment says, tell your brother and your dad, hey, I called the company and they said that yours was the first application they received, and it was also the first one they rejected. Yeah, that's pretty insufferable and so entitled. Good on you for standing up for your sister, OP. And that's enough for today. Let's read something wholesome. It's been such a fun episode, and I hope you guys had a great time today. I had such a good time in today's episode. The first ride home, and then every other car ride ever since. Oh, that's so cute. They did that every single time. Oh, that's so beautiful. Like, hey, I did this once, so I'm gonna do it forever. That's so cute, and that's so cute to read after what we've read today. Not everything is horrifying and concerning. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a great time today. And if you did, make sure you let me know down below in the comment section. And the comment of the day today, goes to Raccoon Recluse. It's a rainy, cold day, hot cup of coffee in hand. All the blankets in my house are piled on me. I'm starting up Vincey stories first thing in the morning, reminding me to cherish the lack of drama in my life. Oh, that's so awesome. And thank you for the support. And I 100% know what you mean too. Like, it's so entertaining to read about the sort of stuff that we read, but I, and I'm sure you are too, are so happy that it's not my life. Like you said, reminding me to cherish the lack of drama in my life. Definitely. Thank you for the comment, and thank you for the support, and thank you all for the support, everybody. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!